Welcome to my videos on Siberian cat colors. Look out for 3 others in eye color, traditional coat colors and color points. In this video we will be looking at the different amounts of white on a Siberian cat. This is an interesting topic and different genes are involved in the distribution of white in different breeds of cats. If this is something you would like to find more about, as well as other colors, search the internet for feline color genetics. White is not a color, it is an absence of color and it hides the natural color of cat underneath. Larger amounts of white can even affect the eye color and result in odd eyes or blue eyes. The images I will be showing are of the cats that I either bred or owned. This is a brown tabby male, a very popular color. He has a white medallion or locket on his chest. This white locket can be anywhere on the lower part of the body. Could be on their tummy, in the armpits, even in between their toes. And this would be considered the smallest amount of white on a cat. His name is Musrafy. He's my second breeding male imported from Russia many years ago. In fact, he was born in Siberia. He's original winner and Supreme Grand Champion and has been retired from breeding for several years now. Here we have another brown tabby. It's a female. This is a Lister, my champion and original winner. She has no white, but the reason I chose this picture is to show that the distribution of this very light, almost white color around her mouth and chin is a standard part of a tabby. It often extends below the chin, back to the top of the neck. You will find it in any color tabbies, blues, creams, any color. This is not considered as with white, it's just part of a tabby pattern. This pale area on the top of the neck can also hide a white locket, which will be impossible to see with the naked eye. Here we have a lovely youngster. He's 9 months old in this picture and lives in London. He's a solid black with small amount of white, and he also has a white tip of the tail. This tends to run in the family. You don't get it very often. I personally think it's such a beautiful feature. It's like a snowball or a white pom-pom. Very cute and certainly draws attention to it. This is the same cat, a picture as a baby and as an adult. The reason I chose these 2 photos is to show how the amount of white appears to change with the length of the coat as it grows. Another solid black and white. Here the amount of white is considerably larger. As well as having full ruff, white is also covering his tummy and part of his head, mainly the facial area. But interestingly, unlike the previous blacks, this kitten has pink nose. And this is purely because that white covered his nasal area. And of course, skin is naturally pink and it is not affected by any color pigment. Here we have a Colourpoint or Niva Masquerade, a young seal point and white kitten. His white is limited to his paws, his chin, and that little speck on his upper lip. It is quite an unusual look, and the way the white distributes can never be predicted. It could be anywhere and of any shape. Some cats will have rather symmetrical distribution, while others have very unusual shapes. This kitten has very nice deep blue eye color. I chose this picture just to show the difference between the white distribution. They both have white on their feet, but the cat at the front has also got white on his face. And look at the nose, what a difference it makes. He has completely pink nasal area, unlike the boy that sits at the back. He has a typical tabby rim all the way around his nose, and there is no white on his face at all. We are now moving on to high whites. This is when white is predominant to the other color. This is a beautiful example of a high white kitten. His name is Wolfie and he lives with Judith in Brighton, UK. And notice, although he has a lot of white, he still has coloring on his nose and his paw. Nice little touches that make him quite unique. Here is another beautiful example of the high white. This is a blue tabby and white female, a mature girl in the summer coat, which is noticeably shorter to the way Siberians look in the winter. She also has color on her nose, and look at her beautiful green eyes, a very attractive shade of green. I chose this picture to show where the color is positioned on the high white bodies. It is usually the back and the tail. This is a van pattern. Here, the amount of color is limited just to the top of the head and tail. There is no other color anywhere, and the cat is purely white other than those areas. This is a solid white male. He has no coloring whatsoever. He's pure white with pink paw pads and nose. White is not a color, it hides the color underneath. This is a dominant white gene. His mother was white, his grandmother was white, and so on, which means that only one parent must carry this genetic information in order to produce an offspring like themselves. This cat's eyes are rather deep blue color, unlike most commonly seen white cats. This tells us that he is in fact a color point or Niva Masquerade underneath this white. What we cannot say for sure is whether he is seal point or blue point or a lynx point in either of these colors. I exclude red and cream because it's not possible based on his parentage. So if we would like to find out what is hidden under the white, we would use diagnostic laboratories. I used Langford Labs in the UK, who are a part of Bristol University. It is a quick and easy swab test which collects cells from the inner part of the cat's cheek, just like a DNA test. So if any of the owners of white cats would like to find out what actual color is hidden underneath the white, you can easily test them.